Hey guys, today I'd like to share something very important with you, and if you're wondering if this title is a clickbait or not, I can guarantee you no, it's not. I, at least for me, have really found a way to basically double up my damage, and I want to share with you this technique today. So, what I was doing the last few days was I was grinding this new Abattoire of Zir dungeon. So here you can see it here, 12 gameplay, and yeah, I'm doing between tier 12 and tier 14 of Abattoire of Zir grinding to level up my glyph. So I don't know if I will do it up until level 50 or a little bit less than that, maybe 35 or something. But yeah, I'm just trying to level up my glyph right now. And when I was comparing myself with other rogue players, so with other streamers like Vudio for example, or with some Chinese players who are uploading their runs on YouTube, I was noticing that I was missing some big amount of damage actually. And I was not sure exactly why. So why was I missing that much of a damage? So one reason could be that I'm still lacking my Doombringer, so I still haven't found the best rogue item in the game yet. So yeah, for this reason I just needed to build my rogue a little bit more defensively, as I wish I would like to have to. So on my amulet, for example, I have 3 different kinds of damage reduction, so I just need them to, yeah, basically survive in the higher tiers of Abattoire of Zir, because I just lack this huge amount of effective health missing from Doombringer. So this is one reason, obviously, why I'm dealing a bit less damage than other rogues. But I also noticed that the way how I engage enemies and how I maneuver through the fights and engage the fights is a little bit different than what other rogues are doing. And I have found out that they share the same combat technique, which I'd like to share with you. So maybe if you're already paying attention to this gameplay here, you're noticing that I'm sometimes attacking into the air. So I'm stabbing the air basically. So I can explain the reason for that. So right now I'm playing the Penshot Rogue, so Poison Human Penshot, one of the 2 viable rogue builds right now for Abattoire of Zir. And the biggest problem with Penshot Rogue right now is we are playing both a ranged and a melee. Like we have a melee and ranged combination of attacks. So our basic skill, our blade shift, or how it's called, is a melee attack, cutthroat melee skill, while our main source of damage is our penshot, obviously, which is this very long-ranged, marksman ranged skill attack. So the problem with that is, in order to load up our combo points, we need to engage enemies in melee range, and then what we actually want to do is we want to shoot our penshot to the enemy which is quite far away from the enemy we are loading our combo points with. So the reason for that is the penshot gets more powerful the more enemies you pierce through. So for that reason you want to aim at enemies which stand much more behind than you. And if you would just click on them, so if you would just use the standard, like the standard way Diablo is programmed in the beginning, so you, for example, use left click for your basic skill and use right click for your core skill, then one problem occurs all the time, which is you need to reposition yourself all the time after loading your combo points. Because after you shoot your penshot, your character, your rogue, will just move a little bit into the direction of the penshot. And there's not much you can do about this. And for that reason, there's another technique that you can use in order to prevent this and have very clean and very effective, very efficient attacks all the time. So you maximize the speed for loading your combo points, and you maximize the damage and the speed also of your penshot. And this technique is not only useful for Penshot Rogue, I think Penshot Rogue is the most useful case right now, but I'm pretty sure that you can use this technique for pretty much every class in the game and every build, also other rogue builds. And if you will practice this, then you will just benefit from it, and will also deal much more damage than before. So after this, Bloodseekers fight, I will show you how exactly you can use this technique. So what kind of settings you need to change in order to make this work. And yeah, I will just show everything after this small fight. So here maybe just to see this in action also with the Bloodseekers. Here I switched my basic attacks to Puncture. I'm still not sure if it's worth it or not to use Puncture instead of Blade Shift. So Puncture is just a little bit more safe because you can go a little bit more into range. So especially for Bloodseekers, which are fire enchanted, for example, this is quite useful, but I'm still not sure exactly if it's worth it to switch to Puncture. But also here you can see that I'm able to attack more from a distance, and I'm not repositioning as often as I would if I would just attack, simply click on the enemy. And also I can, I can go a little bit more forward here. So also this fight is not very easy, so it's a kind of very difficult fight. So also here we need to reposition ourselves and just be sure that we do not any wrong move into wrong direction. So also, yeah, it's not a very good timing to make mistakes. But yeah, this is basically the Bloodseeker fight, and I think that should just give you a little idea. So this was the tier 12 that I'm usually using for farming my glyph. And now I want to share with you this technique. So if we go into this training room here, then you can say that what we usually do in the game, like from the standard, from the beginning, is we use our left mouse, the left mouse click for our basic attack, and the right mouse for our core skill, for example. And the problem with that is, like I mentioned, if we use this to attack and then I want to aim at the last enemy here, so just like I mentioned, the Penshot deals more damage the more enemies it pierces through, so I want to shoot at this enemy, and this can make it very difficult to engage, because you can see my rogue is repositioning sometimes, so just because I'm shooting my Penshot. So a much better way to do this, and this is the technique that I am talking about, is maybe you need to go to your settings first. So you go to options and controls, and what you need to have on is you need to have this enabled, combine move interact basic skill, so this must be enabled. And then you need the button for this, where is it? For shift, hold position. So you need to use one specific button for this hold position control. So for me it's shift. So if I'm holding shift right now, you can see I'm just stabbing basically in the air. So I'm just holding my position, I'm standing still, and then I'm attacking the nearest enemy which is in front of me. And with this technique, it's much more effective and much more efficient to load up your combo points. So what you basically do is you go to the first enemy, or basically the enemies will go to you first. You hold shift to stand still, not move. And then you just hold your left mouse button and already aim at the direction you want to shoot your Penshot. So here I'm just holding my left mouse button, and then all I need to do is to click my right mouse button every 1 or 2 seconds to shoot my Penshot. And you can see it's a very simple and very safe way to maximize my combo point generation and also deal the most damage possible with my Penshot. Just because I'm holding position and nothing can interrupt me. So much better than using this old technique, just pushing buttons. And yeah, this is much less safe, much less reliant, and this technique is just very, very good. And like I mentioned, for me, I noticed, so this is obviously feeling and nothing I can prove or something, but I really noticed that my damage kinda went up by the by the factor 2. So I, yeah, basically doubled up my damage using this improved technique. And that's actually all, so I just wanted to share with you. So if you're also playing with Penshot Rogue and also wondering maybe why are you lacking some damage, this might be because your attacks are not that effective as they could be. So for me at least, this technique really helped me in yeah, getting better at the game. And as a little bonus for this video, another thing I want to share with you is another way how you can improve your damage. So a little build update on my Penshot Rogue. So here's another tier 20, tier 12 run. And what I did here, so my change that I made to the build, is I'm playing with Flicker Step right now. So this idea also came from some Chinese players I can't pronounce. And they were experimenting with Flicker Step, and it seems like Flicker Step is very promising. So yeah, the reason is very simple. Your death trap is very important for this Penshot build. So if you're using death trap and you're pulling together 10 or 20 enemies, then the damage you deal to them is also multiplied by a very large margin. So here you can also double up or triple or deal 4 times more damage than usual just by pulling enemies together with your death trap. So for that simple reason, it's a quite good idea to play Flicker Step actually, so you can just spam your death trap much more often, and since we are evading through enemies all the time anyways, so we are yeah, we are reducing our cooldown of our ultimate skill by, very often, yeah, very effectively. So yeah, this is another little build update. So Flicker Step, very good. So instead of this triple res boots, I'm running Flicker Step with very nice decent roll for me. And so we just need to remove all the skulls from the jewelry and put this gems here so we can max out our resistances. So if I attack with my blade shift, then I have maxed out resistances. And we are also playing with Disobedience on the amulet now. And we are playing either with Might, or you can also play Ambrose for the Dark Shrouds on your chest. So these are your 2 defensive aspects. The rest of the gear you can take a look here, but nothing really changed. So it's basically the Flicker Steps and Disobedience on the amulet. So yeah, Flicker Steps are very good. You can see how quickly I'm able to spam this just by evading a few times through enemies, and bam, I have it again. So yeah, these were my 2 helpful tips for you guys. Also, I'm actually dropping another video tomorrow, or in 2 days I think, and maybe I have a little Christmas gift for you guys. So stay tuned until there. I have some little present for you. So yeah, I wish you a very nice Christmas, guys, and see you next video. Leave me a like if you enjoy my content, and bye bye.